Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to if you're new. I had to hop on and refilm this intro because something went weird with my file. So anyways, I'm just here to say hello, welcome, I hope you enjoy this video and let's just get into it. But I do want to address the elephant in the room in the next few clips, that the lighting kind of like changes a little bit and I'm a little shiny and I'm very sorry about that. I'm just working with a house right now that just has limited lighting, so please bear with me and I hope that my awesome tips to help you out will make up for that. So without further ado, let's go into the video. So today, as you can tell in the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about my tips on how to be more organized in your overall life, how to save time and how to save money. So first, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background of who I am and why do I care about these things. So in my childhood and my teen years, I come from a low-income background, so I did have to see a lot of scarcity mindset growing up. And then I put myself through university for my undergrad and also my master's. So I ended up racking $65,000 worth in student debt, which I know some people have a lot more, especially if you're in the States, but in Canada, that is kind of a lot. So obviously that sucked, but I did what I have to do to put myself through school. And since then, I've actually been able to pay it all off. So I'm student debt free today, and that is kind of crazy to me that I was able to get that. I'm just coming from such a small background. So that's just something that I'm really proud of. But I do recognize that I did have a little bit of help where I, chose a really good career and got a pretty good job right at the end of it. So I just wanted to let you know where I'm coming from. I find that there's a lot of videos here on YouTube talking about saving money, saving time, and people don't really explain their situations. So saving time and organization. I don't live in a home that I own right now, so but I do obviously have to maintain it and, keep a schedule, keep it clean. And also I like to save time because I have a full-time job. I work, a regular 9 to 5, like every single day, sometimes overtime and sometimes on the weekends. And I've also given myself a second full-time job here with YouTube, but one that doesn't pay. So I have lots going on. I got hobbies, so I need to keep myself organized. And I'm going to show you all my tips and tricks of how I save my time, my money, and how I keep myself organized, like I just said. So let's go ahead and start this video. So how I organized my tips are in 3 different categories. So the first one is like food / groceries / meals. So that's one big category, something that is extremely important in today's world where grocery prices and food prices are literally insane and it makes no sense. So the second one is home organization, and then the last theme is going to be personal and financial organization. So let's go ahead and get started with the meal planning and food and grocery organization. So I'm going to be going over my system. I feel like I hacked the system and got like a really good thing going. It all starts with my ongoing list. So my ongoing list is actually an ongoing list of grocery items that we already have. So every single Sunday is when I decide to meal plan, I go through my list and maintain it. So obviously, if you're starting from scratch, you need to start from scratch. So basically, all you have to do is start writing everything that you already have. So you can be as general as you want to be or as specific. In the beginning, I was very specific, even like I would write soy sauce, ketchup. But right now I kind of keep it high level. So here's my ongoing list right now. So for example, we have lots of mushrooms. I have butternut squash. I have peppers. You can see there's other things that we have. We have frozen salmon, frozen fish that we need to use. I believe we also have chicken thighs. So what this list does essentially is it gives you a great place to look at what you have currently. So make sure that you maintain it. So again, every time you're going to meal plan or think about grocery shopping, you should look at this list first, and that's exactly what I do. So every Sunday I sit down, that's the first thing I do is maintain my list, go through the fridge and cupboards and see if I need to change anything. So from that list, I'll start looking at what we have and start trying to visualize what meal ideas I can think of right off the bat with what we already have, because we need to use what we have before we go and buy more. You save money that way, and also you're not going to be throwing out things and then in turn wasting your money because you threw things out. If you threw something out, even if it was on sale, it's not good. So as I go through my list, I'll start visualizing and just thinking of, okay, what can I make with this? So, I have butternut squash. I could probably make a butternut squash soup. These are the conversations that I'm having while I'm just looking at my list, which brings me to my next points about meal planning. So first, let me show you this graph that I've made that's helped me meal plan. So once I've maintained my list of things that I know that we have and that we can use up, I'll then go and just go through my list. So you'll see, this is my graph. You'll see that I have the dates, the meals, a tag, and then any notes. So the days of the week, obviously. The meals are what the meals are going to be, but then the tag section is actually what I start with. So in here, I've just included some different themes for the week. So I do overtime, so something OT, like for Thursday, I work overtime. If we have an event, like I'm going to do cookie decorating, you know, we have another appointment, kind of like we have to drop off cookies to a friend. So within that, that's the first place that I start, because then I know what days are going to be a little bit busier. So on a busier day, I'm not going to start planning to make butternut squash soup that takes like an hour to make, if not more. So that is my first step. I'll then just, you know, fill out the days that I have things, and then I'll write the notes of what it is. And if you're a family, write all the family things that are going on. So at least you even know, like, you might not be busy that night, but maybe your partner will be, or your child, or whatever. So I think that's a really great system. And like I had mentioned, I'll start to obviously already think about what foods that I want to make this week. But if you need more help, I highly recommend looking at Pinterest, starting a Pinterest board for food. I love doing that. I keep most of my recipes there, and it really helps me. Another thing that you can do if you find that your list that you have at the moment is very scarce, so you don't have a lot of food going on and you're like, I will probably need more food, I highly recommend, which is my next tip, checking out Flip. Flip is a website and an app. It's not sponsored, I just love it. But it's just optimized for online. So you go through, and I highly recommend, what we do is if we don't have a lot of food on our ongoing list that we already have, I will then just check what's on sale and just only add things on sale to my list, only if I need them. So for example, you know, if I see, oh, cucumbers are on sale, I'm like, okay, and I have salmon, so those two together are great for sushi bowls, so I'll add that. So kind of basing off your meal planning off of what you already have and what's on sale. It might seem simple, but lots of people don't do that. They'll just think, oh, what do we want this week? And sometimes it's not just about what you're craving, it's about what you have, and if you want to save money about it, focusing on that. But that's not to say that you can't be creative with your meals. We are very creative, and I can say, even though we are kind of strict with our system of going off of what we already have and what's on sale, we eat really well. We eat really balanced meals, and we eat stuff that we really, really like. Like, we get really creative in the kitchen. So I don't want you to think that it's super strict and you're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna enjoy a meal again. No. We are major foodies. I would not give that up. So I promise you, the system works for people that enjoy eating. Once you have all your information of what you think you're gonna be making, you can then start inserting it into that graph, and then you have your little meal plan for the week. Now, great, you have your meal plan, you have your list of things that you need, and now maybe you're starting to write your grocery list, which brings me into my next tip, and it's how to write an effective grocery list. And again, this might seem simple, but this tip has helped me out a lot. I used to be a frequent shopper of the grocery store. I used to go very often. I loved going. It was just fun for me. And I would be the person that would all through all the aisles and then be like, oh, I didn't think of this, but you know, this would be really good if, oh, we need this. I cut that out because I was getting things that I really didn't need. It was just unnecessary. So I highly recommend writing your grocery list in order of the layout of the grocery store that you go to. So I have this pretty down packed. So I know that as soon as I go into my Sobeys, to the left, it's the produce. That's the first thing I see. So I will start writing my fresh vegetables and like salad kits. So if I need salad, I'll write salad, apples, carrots. And then I know that the next section is the bread section. So if I need to pick up bread, that'll be the next thing. Get in, you walk, and you get out. And then you don't visit any of the aisles that aren't listed on your list. I know it might seem simple, but I promise you, not visiting the aisles and not being tempted by everything, if you do struggle with that, is a huge help. So I highly recommend just going in order of what's on your list, what's the layout of the grocery store, and just staying there. It'll really keep your eyes on the prize, and also it saves you so much time. I know so many people that write their grocery list just everything that they need and no rhyme or reason, and then they get there, they go to the cans and they're like, oh, I need broccoli. Go to the other thing, oh, I need frozen pizza. Going to the other section saves you so much time. So I highly recommend doing that. Alrighty, so now we're going into home organization. The first thing, again, it might be simple, but prep for your next day. So the night before, I now make my coffee for the morning. I'm not a morning person, and just knowing that my coffee is ready for me basically when I wake up, I just need to like put it together, it has been such a big help. And the next thing that I do for myself is also lay out my clothes. I'm someone that really struggles figuring out what to wear every day. I don't have a lot that I really like wearing, to be honest, so getting that out of the way in the evening when I'm actually have more energy is a huge help. So maybe that also looks like making a lunch for yourself. Even though you have time in the morning, why not save yourself some time, especially because things happen and you need to get to work. So I think doing it in the evenings, if you have that time and capability, I think that's just something that can help you out so much. The next thing also kind of has to do with getting ready for work or whatever you're doing in your day, and it's organizing your drawers in order of your operations. So for example, in my case, it's the bathroom. We spend most of our time getting ready in our bathrooms, so we don't really have like I'm in my bedroom right now, I don't really have a section of my makeup and stuff like that. So I like to, you know, make the process a little bit more easy in our bathroom. So we recently did that, and we just took our 3 bathroom drawers and took them in order of, you know, our operations, just like I said. So for example, our first drawer, it really has all of our necessities in there, our dental care that we reach, things that we reach for every single day and sometimes multiple times a day, like our toothpaste, some skincare minis that I need to use, our deodorant, some of my medicine that I need to take, things that I need to reach for immediately in the morning and often. So that's our first drawer. The second drawer is things that I do, like things that I need sometimes. So the second drawer, you'll see there's like hair accessories. I don't really do my hair every single day. I have my makeup there. Again, I don't do it every single day, but if I have to do, it's right there. It's very easy to get to. And then in our third drawer, we have miscellaneous stuff that we reach for, you know, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that. Like our Q-tips in case I mess up my makeup or something. Spencer's like shaving kit, my boyfriend's shaving kit stuff, because obviously he doesn't do that every single day. I think this would be really great in the kitchen as well. We really want to implement that because there's, you know, you should organize your space so that it doesn't cause you any stress, and it just makes sense with your routine. My next tip has to do with people that might be moving. So maybe you're a student moving into an apartment for the first time, maybe you're switching places, or maybe you're a first-time home buyer. So anyways, whoever you are, if you're moving, this is something that I highly recommend, organizing your space, or maybe you've moved in and you're trying to furnish a place. Anyways, this is my home furnishing chart. So you'll see here I have 3 different categories. So one category is what we have. The next one is what we want / need. And the next one is what I have to confirm, kind of. So essentially, if you're new to my channel, I plan to purchase my first house, hopefully in 2024. Big goal of mine, I know. In the saving money video, it's kind of like, oh, she can afford to save that. Believe me, it's been a long time coming. And it's not something I take for granted at all. I've never actually lived in a house that my family's owned. So I never got that. So it's really surreal for me, and I have a hard time accepting that that could be a reality for me. So anyways, so you can see here, I've started listing all of the items that we have, what we want, and what I need to confirm. So I've made sure to add all the sections as little check boxes so I can check things off as we go. So you'll notice obviously the things that we already have is already checked off. Then I've been going through the what we need and checking things off. We bought some stuff on Black Friday, so I was able to check things off there, which is great. And then the things to confirm, it's mostly because we have things with our families. So I'm from New Brunswick. I have stuff in New Brunswick, and Spencer's from Ontario. Well, not originally from Ontario, but he's lived here for a while, so he's got stuff at his family home too. So we just need to confirm a few things that I'm like, can we take this? So things like that. So essentially throughout the list, I also organized it by room. Again, it could be a little bit nicer, but this is a system that just works for me, so I wanted to share with others. So you'll see we have like the bedroom, the bathroom, stuff like that. Now, obviously this will be an ongoing list. It's going to be ever changing as we get things, even when we move in. Like, I'm not gonna have every single thing that we need to when we first move into our house, because I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on just, you know, purchasing the house. So it might be a process. And of course too, when I start moving in and, you know, make changes to the home, like we'll probably have to do home renos. Like, I'm obviously not gonna be able to afford like a brand new house. So I'll then also make a list probably of like ongoing renovations, and then probably a priority of what like space I want to furnish first. So anyways, this I think is just a really great place that you can go and check immediately what you have, what you need. And it just works as another shopping list as well. And honestly, checking things off is really, really nice, and you know, just helps you be more organized with that. Okay, so the next thing is called a home binder. Now I do want to say Annika Green on YouTube, she has a channel. She mentioned this in a video, which is why it inspired me to talk about it today. But I'm not going to go into great detail in case she wants to talk about it. I just want to give her credit for sure, because I don't want to steal anyone's ideas or anything like that ever. So yeah, make sure to go check out their channel. Maybe there's a video in the future for her about that. I would also love to make a video about that in the future, because I think it's a very personal thing, but anyways, or individualized thing. But anyways, basically in general, a home binder is like your go-to home organization place. So it can look different for different people. So for example, maybe you have all your go-to recipes in there. So if you know, maybe you make bread and cookies very often, but they're in different cookbooks or they've been given to you online, print them out, put them all in one place in the binder. You can go right there. Another thing is like home maintenance stuff. So like if you have a home and you needed to, if you're renting your water heater, dates for that. If you need to change your filters in your home, write that. Clean the air ducts, whatever. Renovations, anything important, you can write that in there. If you have kids, you can write important information for like phone numbers, school information, important dates. Also probably a good thing to share that with like a babysitter, home care, whatever. So yeah, like I said, they can look really different. You can have all your passwords in there, which like for cybersecurity reasons is not amazing, but whatever. I warned you if you do that. But yeah, just like kind of a one-stop shop for all things home. I've also seen people do like cleaning lists. So like kind of a cleaning checklist, like every week clean, well, every week change your sheets in all the rooms. But maybe it's once a month you clean your windows, something like that. So it's kind of like a little process you can go to, and you can like keep your house organized and all of your things organized. So I highly recommend checking that out. Again, I'm so sorry for the bad lighting right now. I hope you can forgive me, and I hope my awesome tips make up for it. So anyways, so the next, oh hi, if it looks like it's a completely other day and a whole other setup and a different vibe, it is. It's because it is. My camera overheated, battery died, sun went down, everything in the world was telling me stop the video. So here I am the next day. So as I was saying, my next category is the personal organization and finance. So the first one are my organized to-do lists. Now I do believe I talked a little bit about this. So my organized to-do list, having a to-do list in general is a great way to stay organized, of course. So that's a great step if you're already doing that. But I just take it a little bit of an extra step, because I found that I would look at my to-do list and it would be so daunting, because it's all one list and it's super, super long. And my brain reacts to that and is like, I don't want to do any of that. Look at that long list. It's going to take me forever to do that. So if you're like me, I highly recommend doing what I do, and I organize them. So in the sake of this, I removed one category, which is like my actual 9-to-5 corporate work, because for privacy reasons. But here I just show you here I'm showing you basically what I have. Is just think of it, it's the only change is that I usually have 3 categories, but here we go. So you see here I have changed it. So as you can see here, I have it organized in 2 different lists. So I have my work stuff and then my personal. So work in this case is YouTube and branding, and then my personal is literally anything else. So honestly, organizing these in between the 2 really makes it into smaller lists, so more condensed things, and then I can kind of categorize them and see them a little bit better and visualize like how I'm going to get everything done. So this is what works for me. I also tend to write my lists, my to-do lists, in the form of 2 weeks in advance. Now I know that doesn't really work for every single person, but for me, I'm able to kind of know what my life looks like for the next 2 weeks. And of course, if things come up, they come up. But I really like this because then it gives me a really good overview. So usually on Sundays are my reset days where I do all my meal planning and everything. And I also write my to-do list for the 2 weeks ahead. So this I find has really helped me. The next way for personal organization is my monthly resets. So I do have a video on my how to do a monthly reset. So if that's not a thing that you're very familiar with, I encourage you to watch that video. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm trying to plug my own channel, but I do think it's a very helpful video. But essentially the gist of it is every month you sit down with your goals and you organize, kind of like a little list of checklists of your goals for that month. What's coming up in the month? What do you want to do this month? Things like that. But again, I go into more detail in that video. But this keeps me really organized, especially month to month and working on my goals. So I really think monthly resets are a great way to stay organized. And the next one is my income and savings graph. So this is not the same as a budget. Now, if you don't have a budget, I highly encourage you to start writing your budget. I am not going to go over that in this video, but there are so many templates out there. Honestly, you can even Google like basic budget and there'll be things out there for you. This one is kind of a budget, but it's really just tracking all of your income and your savings. So I think I had mentioned, so right now I'm trying to save for a house. So maybe you're saving for a house, maybe you're just trying to save in general, or you're saving to purchase something. Whatever it may be, this is a really great system to have. So as you can see here, I have my little graph that I've made, again in Notion. You don't need Notion, but I think this is a great thing. Also, Notion is free, by the way, just letting you know. So anyways, as you can see here, I have my little graph. So this is also mocked up just for this video. I don't have any real totals on here. This is just a practice for YouTube. As you can see, this is how I calculate basically my savings every single month. So what you can see here is I have my pay dates. So this is literally just the pay date of the time that I'm receiving the money. And then obviously the total. So that is just the total, like the actual total after taxes and everything. That's how much I got. The other section you'll see is growth. So what I do is every single paycheck, I write in my totals of how much I have. And then at the end of every month, I then in the next column, April comes around, bam, out of everything, my checking, my savings, my TFSA investments, whatever I have, I put in there. Amazing, cool, that's how much I have. So it's really great to know how much you do have. Whether it's low or high, it's just good to know what you have. And then after, I continue throughout the months. So as the months go, you'll also see a section where I put like the difference. So then I can see the rate at which I'm able to save. So here, for example, like this one was 3,200 able to save. Cool, that's an amazing number. Now again, this could go up and down depending on your personal budget, your personal circumstance. But I think it's really great to know at what rate you're able to save and how much you're truly able to save, because it might be eye-opening. It might be like, oh my God, I'm actually able to save a lot. That's amazing. So I can project that in 3 months from now, I can purchase blank of whatever you're working towards. Or I'm able to save so much, like I'm able to save this much. This is a great emergency fund, whatever it is. Or you're like, wow, I'm actually not able to save that much a month. I maybe want to revisit my budget and see what I can fix so that I can save a little bit more. And again, not everyone can do that. I'm just saying that this is a process. If you can use this. But again, I realize there's a privilege 100% with just being able to save and see like an improvement. And if your totals are in the negative, which happens a lot, and there should be no judgment for that, you're able to also see the rate at which you're not able to save as much, and maybe perhaps the rate at which you're accumulating debt. So again, that might be something very negative for someone to have to look at and think about. However, it also is good to know so that you're able to put it into your budget and think about in the future what changes you might want to make to try to slow that debt down if at all possible. And I totally see that there are people out there that is just not a possibility, but this might be able to help some people. And I just really don't want it to come across that it's a bad thing if you can't save. Again, I come from a very low income background where there was no plus every single month. It just kept on going lower and lower and lower. So I very much sympathize with those people. So yes, so that's how I calculate my savings right now. And I think it's really great. There's also a section for notes. So if you're saving with a partner or maybe a friend even to go on a trip or something, you can then add their totals as well. So you're just kind of aware how much actual total you have. So for example, my boyfriend and I, our finances are separate right now. So at the end of every month, he calculates his own as well. And it tells me, and then I tell him, vice versa, and then we're able to put our numbers there. So then we're like, okay, so let's say I have 10, but he also has 10. So we actually have 20 to go towards whatever we want. So yeah, so that's, I think, a really helpful tool to use. And my next thing for personal organization, it might be very specific to content creators, but also I think it could be used for people that work in project management or literally anyone that has something going on in their life. And this is my content calendar. This is my content baby content calendar. It's just like a funny name. I'm a big fan of Alicia Marie vlogs, and she says content baby content all the time. So anyways, that's why I named it that. Not important to this whole cause. But as you can see here, it looks like there's a lot going on, and it's because there is. So the graph is really, really helpful for me just to keep organized. Like I had mentioned, maybe, I don't remember, but I do work a full-time job, and this YouTube situation is kind of like a second full-time one, obviously, when I'm not working on my real one. So there's lots going on, and I have a life outside of both. So, you know, I need to keep organized to stay sane, to be honest. So as you can see, I have all the, my video ideas, my titles all laid out. Sometimes they're not the actual titles, but an overall idea. And then I have a status bar. You'll see it's like, what stage is it at? Is it at the planning stage? Is it in the editing stage? Has it been scheduled? Things like that. There's also a date associated. This date refers to the day that I want it to like go live on YouTube. And then I also have a section for like where it's going to be posted. So I have YouTube, Reels, TikTok, blah, 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 blah. But that's something that I haven't totally been using the whole time, but something I need to continue to use. And then within each title, I have some as pages. So within these pages, I'm able to add all the information that I need for my videos, such as this one. So you'll see I have some notes for myself, and even some like action items of things that I need to take off my list to be able to get this video out, which ended up being so much more because of all the lighting issues, but I will let it go eventually, I'm sorry. But yes, and I use this graph every single day, pretty much. I have to keep an eye on it, and I really, really think it works for me, and I really, really like it, and I can use it for forward planning as well. And yeah, it's very easy to change things, not the Ariana Grande moment. It's very easy to change things if you need. But yeah, I think it's very helpful. So this is my little graphic, helps me keep organized. All right, guys, well, those are my tips. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope that these tips, if you haven't been doing them, will save you some time, money, and keep you organized as they have for me. Honestly, these tips have helped me out throughout my life quite a bit. So they've helped me pay off all my student debt and being able to save, with also some privileges in my life as well. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.